Meanwhile, President Biden is set to announce new efforts to combat high gas prices. He's expected to release 15 million more barrels of oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve in December, the last of the 180 million barrels he authorized back in March. This as the IRS announces tax bracket changes aimed at easing the impact of inflation. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze joins me live now for more on that. Elizabeth, Americans consume about 20 million barrels of oil a day. So how much of a difference will releasing 15 million barrels make?
Yeah, Diane, a drop in the bucket in the global oil market, 15 million barrels, as you said, already part of this 180 million that had been pledged by the White House. So this isn't a whole new tranche that's being released, but really what the White House is trying to do is whatever it can to try to ease those higher prices. And it's also announcing that it's willing to potentially release more oil from the reserve in the coming winter months, to also buy back more oil to replenish the stockpile as it's draining what we are seeing right now. But ultimately, as we talk about so often, the oil market is a global market. And while the White House is trying to take these steps to boost supply, other countries are cutting back. They are cutting back production. And we also have an embargo on Russian oil that's going to go into effect in December. So while the White House wants to try to take the steps to make there be more oil in the market, as long as there are other factors that are reducing it, that does mean that prices could still stay high, Diane.
Now, the IRS is also adjusting who is eligible for which tax brackets in hopes of easing the blow of inflation a bit. Which changes do you think will have the most impact, and how significant are they?
This is a significant savings for the take-home pay for a lot of Americans, Diane. When we think about how inflation is cutting into many Americans' paychecks, this is a way to try to make up for some of those higher prices. So what we're seeing, a big change is that if you had been making $89,000 in this year, you would have been paying a tax rate of currently about 32%. Under these new rates, you're going to be at a 24% tax rate. That's a pretty big, significant savings when you're looking at that income bracket. The other big part of this announcement is the standard deduction. So the standard deduction for an individual tax filer is now going to go up $900. Basically, that means that you can collect more money tax-free. So this is a significant change. It's one of the biggest changes in the tax code that we've seen in decades from the IRS. But important to remember that the reason that this is happening is because of inflation. It's because a lot of Americans' wages haven't been keeping up with the pace of inflation. So this is a way to try to adjust for some of that, to say, even as those prices are going up, we'll try to adjust some of the taxes as well to try to keep up with those higher prices.
And Elizabeth, President Biden is hitting the campaign trail today. He's expected to be in Pennsylvania. What can we expect on that front?
Diane, this speaks to the importance of Pennsylvania in the midterm elections now just 3 weeks away. You know, we see that the president is trying to focus on a few states. He hasn't made a lot of trips to swing states, but Pennsylvania is one of them. He is trying to make this announcement about the economy, about gas prices, on infrastructure, trying to shift the narrative that Republicans have really been dominating on the economy and inflation in the last couple of weeks, especially as we've seen prices stay so high. And really this attempt to try to focus on federal abortion law. The president saying if we can pick up seats in states like Pennsylvania in the Senate, we might have enough votes to overcome the filibuster. That's when we could really try to pass legislation that's been blocked. Of course, that's a big question mark, and that's what the president's case he's going to try to make, focusing on some of those issues that have been losing a little bit of momentum in recent months, as some of these economy issues have taken a front seat, Diane.
All right, Elizabeth Schulze, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.